for LinkedIn Live. My name is Rachel Bray and I'm the CERN Alumni Community Manager. We're broadcasting live today from outside the CERN Council Chamber because the Office for Alumni Relations is organising an event for our colleagues who are curious to find out what opportunities are available to them if they decide to leave academia. Now, in a few moments, we're going to have the opportunity to speak to a fantastic bunch of CERN alumni who are all entrepreneurs. So they had an experience at CERN, they had a very strong entrepreneurial streak, and they decided that when they left CERN, they would set up their own companies. Now, if you're interested in entrepreneurship or you have any questions related to entrepreneurship, send us your questions via LinkedIn and we will do our best to answer them. Also, we'd love it if you could like this page, and surely you must know people who are also interested in entrepreneurship. So please share this post with those people. Now, the CERN Alumni Network was launched in 2017 and we now have 5,400 members. So the network is made up of people who have worked at CERN or who are soon to leave CERN. So if you're part of or any of these two categories, I urge you strongly to join the CERN Alumni Network. And to do that, you just need to go to your favorite browser, type in alumni.cern, and then you can join. So what are the benefits of joining this network? Well, first and foremost, you'll have access to an exclusive community of people who have gone through a similar situation to you. They've worked at CERN and they know what it's like leaving CERN and looking for a job elsewhere. So they'll be able to provide you valuable career support should you decide that you want to leave academia. Now, not only that, one of the other benefits of joining the network is that you'll be able to find job opportunities posted on the platform. So these are opportunities posted by our alumni, or they're also posted by companies that are very keen to recruit amongst the CERN talent pool because they know very well the skills and the talents that are developed at CERN. Finally, if you join the network, you'll also be able to take part in events like this, where we invite alumni who work in specific sectors to come back and speak to soon-to-be alumni and give them very pragmatic and candid advice on different career opportunities. So far, we've looked at the financial sector. We've also looked at industrial engineering and big data. And today, you've guessed it, we're doing entrepreneurship. So remember, if you have any questions about entrepreneurship at CERN, don't hesitate to send us your questions via LinkedIn. Please also like this page and share it with everybody you know. Now, we're organising this event in conjunction with our colleagues from the CERN Technology Transfer Group, and I'm delighted today to say that I'm joined by my colleague Anaïs Rassat, who's a member of the CERN Technology Transfer team. So Anaïs, would you like to say a few words, please, about knowledge transfer at CERN?
Yes, absolutely. So many people have heard of CERN and have heard of the Higgs boson and know about CERN through its physics. And not many people know that actually there's lots of applications to CERN technologies. So we already have a lot of applications in the fields of medical and biomedical technologies, also in aerospace applications. And we even have applications in fields that might seem really far-fetched from particle physics, like cultural heritage. So there are actually companies now that are using technology developed at CERN to study paintings for art authentication, for example, or art restoration. And we are very keen to continue to build a culture of entrepreneurship at CERN, and so that's why we're delighted to co-organize this event with you. We also have a network of business incubation centers that's developed by CERN, and you'll hear more about that after this.
I understand that you also organise CESPs. I think this is for people who are keen to develop their entrepreneurial skills.
Yes, there's an event that we organize in the summer that's called the CERN Entrepreneurship Student Program. That's for master's students who are working in a technological field and who are also interested in entrepreneurship. You can find out more information on kt.cern, so that's our website where you can find all the information about knowledge transfer activities at CERN.
And also, what about entrepreneurship at CERN? Do you have a dedicated team that can advise people in that field?
Yes, absolutely. There's a dedicated team. The goal is to promote entrepreneurship internally and also to identify externally startups that could be interested in finding business solutions using CERN technology. There's going to be someone from the entrepreneurship team speaking after you interview the startups now.
Okay, great. And so what do you think so far of the panellists that we've seen? What have they been saying that really interested you?
It's very interesting, super exciting, and I see there's a lot of skills I find that that are useful in academia, that also have applications in entrepreneurship. There's this really, I always found in science there's a startup mentality, so I see that it's been applied outside also.
And Anais, I'd like to ask you, have you ever been involved in a startup yourself?
I have almost been involved in a startup, yes.
And could you tell us what happened?
I was building a business plan, and then I got hired by CERN, so that didn't happen.
So these are things that certainly happen. I think that in a few minutes we're going to be able to watch a video that has been issued by CERN Knowledge Transfer.
Absolutely.
Could you give me some real concrete examples that people here might have heard of knowledge transfer from CERN?
There's an example of a sensor from microelectronics that was developed at CERN called Medipix. It's actually the 20th anniversary of Medipix this year, and that has been used in many different applications. For example, there's a startup in New Zealand, which I like that example too because it's very far geographically from CERN.
I think that we're going to see that in the video clip, which is just about to appear on our screen. So if you want to know more about knowledge transfer at CERN, take a look at this video and stay with us because we're going to come back with some fantastic CERN alumni entrepreneurs. Send us your questions. So now it's time to meet some of our awesome CERN alumni entrepreneurs, and I'd like to introduce everybody to Marc-Elian Bégin, but I understand people call you Meb, is that correct? So Meb, you are CEO and also co-founder of a company called 6 Squared, and I understand that you recruit plenty of CERN alumni. Could you explain to us what your company does? And then also, why is it that CERN alumni or people who've worked at CERN are desirable people to recruit?
Sure. So we're a software company. So we define ourselves as software artisans of scale. We really focus on the software. We tap into the growing market of edge computing, so that we're facilitating, for example, AI application at the edge, which is actually growing into a number of markets at the moment. So the people we're looking for that actually fit very well with the mentality of CERN, and half of our team is actually from CERN. So sometimes I joke about CERN being the 6 Squared recruitment center. But basically we're looking for smart people that have this immense capacity to learn, are autonomous, are used to work in a multicultural environment, and that can actually, think on their feet and be able to sort of sustain a rapid pace, because we're playing with cutting-edge technology, being able to react to market needs and keep on learning, right? Keep on learning and over and over.
Okay, so could you tell me the skills that you acquired when you were working at CERN? What exactly were they in concrete terms that helped you launch your own startup?
Right.
Stamina.
Well, if you let me, there's a small story that I'm a aerospace engineer by training, and I wrote software for 25 years now. I don't write so much software anymore. But at CERN, I joined the grid deployment group, and then I was in 2007 in a winter. I heard in a conference in Manchester, Tony Hay talking about an e-commerce platform called Amazon releasing something called the cloud, and I thought that was like amazing, right? So I came back all excited at CERN, and then we were at that time working on the grid, which was a new numerical methods to actually process data coming from the about to launch LHC, and this is where I saw a clash in between those cultures, and so I was given a chance to actually build some understanding of what this technology would be, and that formed the foundation of what 6 Squared would be. So it's about software skills, able to distribute that skill, create reliable software services.
Yeah.
That's the core engine of what 6 Squared is about.
Great, thank you. And don't forget, MEB is recruiting, so check
are,
out alumni.cern
absolutely.
and you can find job opportunities on there.
Yeah.
Don't forget, like what we're doing now, please, and share it with all your friends.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank you
ever so
very
much,
much.
MEB.
Thank
It's
you.
been great talking
Yeah,
to you.
thank you. Oh,
thank
sorry.
you, sorry. I'll take that as well if I may. Thank you. So now, moving over to our next CERN alumnus, who's absolutely awesome as well. It's
Thank you.
Michal Elias. So Michal, you are the founder and the CEO of Advantix. And so this is focusing on R&D for high efficiency power converters and charging systems for electric vehicles.
That is correct.
Yeah,
Indeed.
so how's business?
So the business is good. As you've noticed on the electric mobility, it's only the amount of electric cars on the market is only increasing. And people, when they watch the news, all they see, okay, there's going to be a new car, or maybe this city is going to ban diesel. But what they don't see is that you need a lot of infrastructure to actually support all this. So you cannot just have electric cars with no charging stations and with no other support infrastructure. And that's one of the things that we are really focusing on, because it's a lot of things that people that think that electric mobility cannot succeed use this as arguments. There are no charging stations. Yeah, because we don't have electric cars yet. But
Vicious circle.
it's a chicken and egg problem.
Yeah.
So that's one of the problems we're trying to solve.
Okay.
And we're trying to solve it by using a very high efficiency power converter technology that's going to reduce the transfer losses and also allow much more fluent and more better experience in using electric cars together with the charging stations.
Okay, so Michal, when do you think we'll all be benefiting from your infrastructure? When will we all be able to charge our electric cars with it?
Well, we are already supplying to some of the customers. You will never find our logo on products because we supply the core, what actually goes inside of a charging station and what goes inside of vehicles. But I can tell you that we already have several car manufacturers that are going to be using our technology inside of their vehicles, as well as some of the infrastructure providers that are using our technology in their charging stations.
Okay, so soonish.
I would
I
say
hope.
so, yeah. Maybe you already use it, you just don't know yet.
Possibly. So, Michal, I understand that you're also keen to recruit from within the CERN talent pool. Could you just say
Absolutely.
a few words about the type of profiles you're looking for, please?
Absolutely. So since we are a hardware startup, we are mostly looking for people with electronic skills, with firmware, which means development in the C language, and software mostly in Python. So pretty much if you have a profile that's related to hardware, electronics, or software on the Python side, we are definitely interested in you.
And where should people go and look for these job opportunities?
Well, they can check our website, and they can also check CERN Alumni, because on the CERN Alumni we publish all of our opportunities and we try to keep it up to date.
That's great. Fantastic. So thank you very much, Michal. I'm now going to move over. If I may take your microphone, I'll shake your hand as well. Thank you very much. I'll take the microphone, and let's move over now to Ask. Hi, Ask. Now, excuse me, don't forget, please like this LinkedIn Live that we're doing. Please also share it with your colleagues and friends, anybody who's got an interest in entrepreneurship. Like it, comment, and ask your questions. We're going to see if we've got any questions that have come in. But before we do that, Ask, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
So Ask, you are the co-founder and also COO of Seaborg Technologies. So could you explain to us exactly what you're doing, please?
Yeah, so I actually brought some help. So this is
great.
a fluorite crystal.
Can I touch it?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
So this is fluorite crystals, and this is central to what we're actually building. It's a novel type of nuclear reactor that has the benefits of nuclear power today, but solve the challenges that we think. So we are developing a reactor that is inherently safe, and that is by itself interesting, right? But it also allows us to build it much smaller and inexpensive compared to nuclear today, a direct competitor to fossil fuels.
Oh, and so, but you're Danish, I understand.
Yes.
And am I allowed to say that, well, not only in Denmark, there's a lot of a resistance to nuclear energy, but the fact that you say that it's safe and it doesn't have the inconvenience of traditional, then everyone's happy, I guess.
I think it's safe to say that there's a lot of resistance, has been a lot of resistance in Denmark, but what we're also seeing, what I'm experiencing is that there's a shift today. People realize that the technology is different than it was 50 years ago, and with the new potential, it could be part of the problem we are facing. I mean, solving the climate challenge, basically.
Absolutely. I was going to say, would you say that we hear about disruptive industry. Would you say that your industry is a disruptive industry?
Sure, but in some ways, yes.
Yeah.
So I think we need to disrupt at least the idea of having big central plants. We need to build smaller plants that can work in a more decentral grid. I also think we need to think about the big part of the world that's going to increase in energy consumption. I mean, we're going to be 9 billion people in 30 years.
Yeah.
And as people get richer, they use more energy, and that's just a fact,
We have
right?
to face it.
We have to face it, and we have to make that carbon-free. So yes.
So I guess for your company, climate change has really opened some doors for you, could we say?
Yeah, I would actually say that is the reason we founded the company.
Yeah.
So it has opened doors, but it is a reason that we founded the company. We saw a challenge and we saw an unmet need, and yeah.
And so just about the whole question of entrepreneurship, often, well, we heard Meb say that it's the idea of you throw yourself off a cliff and you have to be able to build a plane before you actually hit the water. Is that really the experience that you felt you had setting up your startup, or was it worse than that?
No, so we were 5 guys, 5 physicists in a basement to begin with, and that's really where it started. It was a hobby until we realized that we actually had something that had significant potential.
Yeah.
And going from there to actually having a company that we are 28 today,
Wow.
and still hiring. So,
And you're recruiting.
Yeah, we are.
So you're putting the opportunities on alumni.cern.
Yes, we are.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm going to shake hands with you.
Thank
you, Ask. Thank you. It's great talking to you. And now we're going to move over to our next guest. Hi, mate. Do I say?
Hello, everybody.
Mate Muntel.
Yes,
Is
Mate
that correct? Okay, mate. So you are based in Estonia.
In Estonia and in London.
Okay, so you travel a lot. Now, also, you're a physicist, and you've used algorithms from high energy physics to set up your own company in accelerated learning.
Yes, this
Is that correct?
This is true. Yeah, it's funny that we came from an accelerator and we started a company to accelerate human learning.
Yes.
So we're building technology for language learning, but with a higher goal to accelerate human learning as such. And I personally believe that it's possible to make humans to learn 10 times more efficiently.
Really?
Yes.
You think that's possible for even me?
For everybody. And for sure, this is probably the most important thing, because if you think that the learning of efficiency of learning efficiency is the single most important thing for every human being.
Yeah.
The world is changing so fast that
so you have to
everybody
learn
have to learn.
fast.
And especially when AI and machine learning will take out a lot of jobs, then
Yes.
you just have to adapt to the world.
You must adapt, exactly. So your company is called Linguist.
Linguist,
So
yes.
you're specializing for the time being in language learning. We're talking about different foreign languages. learning
Yes,
languages,
currently
yeah.
we specialize on language learning, but we believe that actually we can use these learning algorithms in many other fields of education as well.
Okay, so for the time being, are you finding that mainly your customers are in Estonia, or?
Oh no, Estonia is a very small country. We have a lot of customers in Asia, in Japan, in Taiwan, in US, also in Europe. So global company.
What's the most popular language people wish to learn?
What do you think? Obviously it's English.
Yes, but
There
then
are
after English.
3 billion people who want to learn English to have a better education and better job opportunities. But apart from English, we really these languages that we offer, Spanish, French, German.
So I understand that you actually, well, I was going to ask you, if you hadn't have come to CERN, do you think you would have launched this company?
Most certainly not.
No?
Because CERN is such an amazing place. These people who are here, they have amazing skills in machine learning, in software development, and probably the most important is that they have awesome model building skills, so that they can apply these skills in basically in any field, wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
And if they want to solve really tough problems, then for example, Linguist could be a really good place for them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And probably incidentally, people who've worked at CERN have probably had to grapple with learning foreign languages as well.
Yes.
And I liked, you told me a story how it was on a very grim day that you had the idea for Linguist. Can you say more about what happened?
Oh,
on
yes.
the railway station. It's like the Paul
This was-
Simon song,
Yeah, this is
Homeward Bound.
I'm a little bit embarrassed to tell the story,
Oh, sorry.
but it was a funny story when I was traveling back from Mont Blanc.
Yeah.
I like to climb, and then came back on the misty Sunday evening, and I got lost in the railway station, and
Oh,
I
dear.
asked from the railway guard which train to take,
Yeah.
and he didn't speak English.
Yes.
So I had to communicate myself with arms and legs. And when all of the trains had left, then he finally had mercy on me and said that this was your last train. So I was
Oh,
very
dear.
disappointed. But this,
Yeah.
on the other hand, this pushed me to build this company.
Can they say mother is the necessity of all invention or
Yes.
something like that? Yeah, whatever. I can't remember the saying anyway. Great, mate. It's been absolutely wonderful to talk to you. I understand that you're also hiring.
Of course,
Yeah.
I have very, very high respect of these people who are working here.
Yes.
And if they love languages, if they love learning, then they are most welcome to solve these tough learning problems in a very, very mathematical and physical way.
So they should contact you on alumni.cern.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's great. Mike,
Thank you
it's
so
been
much.
absolutely wonderful talking to you. Thank you very
Thank
much, and
you.
thank you for coming to the event
Thank you.
today. I'm going to shake hands with you as well. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
if I may take that from you. Right, let's switch to the other table. Don't forget to ask your questions on LinkedIn, to like the page and share it with your friends and colleagues. So, hi Helga, it's lovely to see you. Thank you very much for coming. So, you're co-founder and CTO of Sight Visual Conception. So you're part of the deep learning boom, and you're using machine learning, which talent you acquired whilst you're working at CERN, but you've now applied it to retail, fashion, that industry. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. And so, these are miles away, fundamental research and retail. What was it that motivated you to move in that direction?
Well, I certainly didn't ever plan to work in the fashion industry. But after having worked in physics and doing data analysis and detector development, I co-developed this machine learning toolkit and promoted it heavily in the CERN and the physics community. And after that, I really wanted to keep on working in machine learning and in particular deep learning. And I didn't really see a career path there at CERN to do that. So I was quickly thinking about how to do that elsewhere and maybe starting my own company. But I quickly realized that I lacked a massive skill set for the actual entrepreneurship. And then I was just teaming up with other people that had exactly this knowledge.
So basically you networked and then you found people that were able to complement your...
Right, exactly.
yeah.
And in the end, it was a lucky push that somebody came here to CERN that wanted to build a startup using machine learning. And we met and we got along, guys, together. And then it was still a long process of what exactly to do. But quickly this fashion business started out as a nice and promising idea, in particular with the new generation of people using their mobile phones, where everybody takes pictures all the time. So visual search becomes something which is an attractive business.
So basically you avoid having catalogues with descriptions, etc. But what you do is you take a picture and then you can be given, you're looking for a red dress, and then it will
Exactly.
give you options of red dresses where you can buy them.
Exactly, yes.
Exactly.
So typically, either you do it on a single application where you can then look for similar dresses elsewhere, or mostly directly targeting retail shops that employ our technology in order to find similar items then within their shops.
Okay.
And it works not only for fashion, but also for home decor and other things. We are expanding our business as
Who
well.
would have thought it that high energy physics could then go into retail?
Yes, but it's a very nice business to be in. And in the end, looking at fashion images is still better than moving out of academia and going into finance and looking at stock market or insurance data.
Sure. So where do you see the future for your company in this whole visual search, machine learning technology? Where do you see yourselves going?
Well, I think we are very well positioned right now, and it's an internet-based company with typically large competition. But we have a large customer base already worldwide. We've this summer, finished our successful round B funding.
Okay.
So I think we will be still growing fast and attracting more companies and more clients. And I think we are here to stay.
Oh, that's good to hear. So that means that you're also trying to attract new candidates.
Yes.
So what type of profile are you looking for?
The company itself, with all the development on software and sales on, is mostly based in Israel.
Yeah.
But we have a daughter company here, which does the actual machine learning part. And
Okay.
I would be looking for actual machine learning enthusiasts, even amongst the CERN community. I like working with physicists, and as I'm myself one, I think
Yeah.
it would be a good match.
Great.
And yes.
Perfect. So we know if you're a machine learning physicist,
please
you can
contact us.
go on to alumni.cern and you'll find the job opportunities there. Helga, thank you so much. It was
Thank you
lovely
for having
talking
me.
to you. And if I may take the microphone, thank you very much. Thank you. Hi. So now here we are with Ash Ravikumar. So I mentioned that we're doing this event in conjunction with Knowledge Transfer, and I believe you head up the entrepreneurship team.
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Yes.
so thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
I've got a few questions for you, if you wouldn't mind. So, CERN is all about the core activity is fundamental research, all right? That's miles away from entrepreneurship, isn't it?
It is indeed. But look, CERN's activities is still our everyday job is on the fundamental mission of fundamental research. Nothing changes from that. But during that pursuit, a lot of inventions, a lot of ideas are developed for that high energy physics. We strongly believe that the impact to our member states and outside is using these in applications outside of high energy physics. And one way to do it is entrepreneurship, but the other is knowledge transfer. So the knowledge transfer part we do with large companies, small companies, everywhere in the world, for a matter of fact. And then entrepreneurship is a key fact where you look at disrupting markets that doesn't exist. So although they're far away, for us on the mandate of creating impact, it's absolutely in our core mission.
It's in our line, yeah.
Yeah.
So, could you tell me what are the types of startup that we've seen come out of CERN, please?
It's actually a huge diversity, right? So right now, even if you look at our alumni startups that are coming in, this is knowledge transfer through people who've actually gone and started companies from fashion to nuclear reactors, right?
Yeah.
But then there are also startups which come out from outside and get the technologies and know-how, and that's gone from some cooling technologies to sensors to machine learning to robotics, the entire gamut of it, right?
Yeah.
So a good catchment of all the technologies that we have currently for licensing and for startups to use can be looked at from a website. I think KTCERN .CERN is the best place. Yeah.
Great. So people go to Katie CERN.
Please
Now,
do.
just very quickly, because we don't have much time left, give us some nuggets of advice of what people who are working at CERN should do if they're thinking about creating a startup.
Great.
Very
So
briefly.
First thing, come to our entrepreneurship meetups. This happens, twice a month, where you can meet other people who are interested in it, validate your ideas. Come talk with us in the entrepreneurship team. There's also the newsletter where you can subscribe to and see what's active in the ecosystem. And come talk to us. We're here to help.
And they can also talk to CERN alumni because CERN
Absolutely.
alumni also have this lived experience.
And this network is the best thing for them to leverage on.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Oh, thanks,
Ash,
Rachel.
it's been absolutely brilliant talking to you. Thank you very much for joining
Likewise.
us today.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Ta.
So, if you've ever worked at CERN or you're soon to leave CERN, I'd like to invite you to join the CERN Alumni Network, because if you join the CERN Alumni Network, you'll have access to a network of fantastic people like we've just seen now. If you sign up, or when you sign up to alumni.cern, please let us know what you're up to. We want to see how your career has flourished. And perhaps you could come back and talk at one of these events and share your experience also. Now, very important, when you join the CERN Alumni Network, you'll have access to fantastic job opportunities which are posted on our platform on alumni.cern. And if you're a company that's looking to, or you're seeking the talents and the skills that are developed at CERN, you can also sign up and post your jobs on the CERN Alumni Network on alumni.cern. So I encourage everybody to do so. If you're looking for your next career move and you want to see these amazing career opportunities, sign up. So now I think it's about time that we actually wind up. You can carry on posting your questions on LinkedIn and we will send them to our entrepreneurs if you're a bit shy to ask them during the session. So share this, like it, and tell your friends, colleagues about the CERN Alumni Network and knowledge transfer at CERN. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. Thanks to LinkedIn and thanks to our fantastic alumni. You are a highly valued member of the CERN alumni community, the one and only high energy network, and we are very proud of your achievements. All of our members have joined the network because they wish to stay connected with CERN and its scientific collaborations. Some of you are at the early stages of your career and value the exclusive job opportunities which are especially targeted at the profile and talents developed at CERN. Most of you welcome the support of a strong and dynamic network whose members are ready to share their experiences with peer alumni. In order to accomplish this, we need your help. We need to know what you're up to professionally at this stage of your life, where you work, as well as your educational background. This information is the heartbeat of the network and is essential for you to get the most out of your networking experience. Remember, your data are secure. The information belongs to you entirely. We only store it on your behalf and for no other purpose than what you've agreed to. The CERN Office of Alumni Relations is dedicated to you. We are keen to meet you and share your alumni stories on all our channels. We would like to invite you to speak at our events and benefit from the experience of others. We create links between our network members in a world where the strength of connections is increasingly important. Please do go ahead, connect to alumni.cern, edit your profile and dedicate the few minutes it takes to give the key milestones in your career and education. Don't forget to upload a photo or a picture and a headline. You're amongst people who share the same passion for STEM, the pride of having contributed to CERN's mission, and experience the same attachment to this amazing laboratory. Thank you, and stay connected.